I joined a lot of Discord art servers in hope of seeing other artists' works without being drowned by algorithms. But then, I often come across the same artists in multiple servers I'm part of. There is nothing wrong with that, but I noticed they post the same piece with exactly the same caption. And after seeing it happen over and over again across multiple servers, I started wondering, why? Are we sharing art or just posting content? Disclaimer: this video is purely based on my own thoughts and experiences, so there is no absolute right or wrong. You might even disagree with me, and that's completely okay. If you have your own thoughts by the end of this video, feel free to share them in the comments. Now, let's continue. From what I understand, I feel like there are several reasons behind this behavior. When they drop art and move on, or repeat the same caption, that is. For example, maybe some artists want exposure and recognition, to be seen, to grow an audience, or even to attract future clients. Maybe some experience algorithm fatigue, feeling mentally and emotionally exhausted from constantly trying to keep up with social media algorithms. Maybe some have social anxiety or are simply exhausted when dropping art feels much easier than actually starting conversations or building connections. And maybe people just want an audience, someone to see their art, but not necessarily a community or a deeper connection. And to be honest, I can understand all of this, but it also makes me wonder how we see art itself. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with those reasons, by the way. It just feels a little off from my perspective now that I think of it. Because sometimes it feels like the creative process slowly turns into just posting work after work cycle rather than actually experiencing it. It's like you finished a piece, post it in a few servers, then move on, and then the cycle repeats. It's almost as if you've just finished creating something, but your mind is already searching for the next audience. As if you never really sit with your own work first. And personally, it's hard for me to relate. Maybe because I eventually stopped trying to beat the algorithm. I stopped trying to constantly stay afloat, chase trends, or figure out how to stay visible all the time. Instead, I chose something different, something more quiet. I chose to stay in one place, to invest in one community, not just to share my art, but to connect too. Honestly, neither is right. I'm not saying drop and go across Discord art servers is wrong, and I am definitely not saying my way is the right way either. Both ways, sharing everywhere or staying in one community, are valid, but they feel different. One feels like chasing to be seen, the other feels like sitting back and letting your work breathe. I can understand why drop and go feels necessary sometimes. Maybe in this fast-paced internet space, sometimes being visible feels necessary, like a survival. But even then, I still can't help but wonder, if everything is done so quickly, what gets left behind in the process? Does the process still matter? Or does only the final result matter now? In the end, it all leads me back to one question. When does a creation stop becoming content and start becoming an experience? Sorry if this video turned a little mellow, maybe even a bit heavier than usual, you guys. There's this bittersweet feeling in me while writing this. Maybe what felt bittersweet wasn't seeing artists share their work everywhere, but wondering if somewhere along the way we started forgetting what art meant to us. Anyways, these are just some random thoughts I had after spending time in different art communities. If you have your own thoughts or even disagree with me and you feel like sharing, feel free to do so in the comments. Thank you for watching until the end.